All right, today we're going to be working on figure 552, which is a rod guide. They give us the front view here and the side view. No top view is given, but we have enough dimensions here down below to complete the drawing. I'm going to head over to Fusion. And depending on the version of Fusion that you're using, your icons might look a little bit different, but you should be all set to create this part. Want to make sure that we draw the front view for this drawing today. Want to avoid putting our front view in the wrong place, like a right side view or a top view, because it will flip it around when we place it into the drawing, into the orthographic drawing. So up here in the top right corner, you see we have our little block. You can see front view, right, and top. We want to make sure we draw it in that front view. So I'll create a new sketch here. And the three planes show up. This is our right side view. This is our front view. And this would be our top view. So if you want to draw it in the front view, this plane right here is the one that we want to select. We'd like to try to put this as close to 0, 0 as possible. It doesn't have to be, but it does help later on. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my part now. The part, and I just noticed that I'm still in millimeters. So before I get too far, I'm going to go here to the pencil. I'm going to change that to inches. Now we're all set. All right, so I'll go ahead and draw that line. And it is 5.12 inches across. All right. Dimension down. And the thickness is 0.75. All right. And you can draw this in a variety of ways. Looks good. Now, in order to get that arc in the middle, I'd like to know exactly where the center is. So I could do a couple things. I could draw a line, or I could put in a point. We'll try putting a point in here. So underneath that sketch tool, we've got some options here, and we're just looking for point. Okay. So I can put a point out here somewhere. All right. Get rid of that second one. Just want that one point right there. I can do sketch, dimension. And if I do a little bit of math, I find out that the center point is 1.5 inches. I got very lucky. 1.5 inches from the bottom. And from the center point to the outside edge, let's put another dimension in. There we go. All right, so from the center point to that outside edge is, and again, I got very lucky here, but it's 2.62 if you do a little bit of math. So that's exactly where I need my part to be. 2.62 is half of 5.12. So now I'm ready to draw my arc. And I can say sketch arc. And there's some options. I like center point arc. So I'll go ahead, I'll click in, and I can come straight across. And this is a 1 inch diameter. And if I click, I go all the way around. And I can type in 180 degrees so I know that it goes all the way around. And I'll zoom out here. I've got my arc. And you can fidget around there a little bit with the dimensions if you want to, but I've got my arc. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line out to here. I can touch that arc and bring it down, and it will click in the right place for me. Looks good. Same thing with this one. If I start drawing out, I can draw up to here, and then as I slowly come down, you see the blue dash line. And I'll take myself up there. It did shade in orange, which is great. That's exactly what we want it to do. And one thing I want to make sure that I have, if you look right here, this circle with a line on the side, this is a tangency point. You want a tangency point here and here on both sides. Tangency means that that arc and that line are going to touch and connect in a smooth manner. If it's not, maybe if you don't have one of those, like I just deleted one. So I have one on this side, but not on this side. What I can do to put that in, and again, everybody, different version of Fusion is going to show it a little differently. But I have this sketch palette here. Those of you using the new version of Fusion, yours might be across the top. But if I go down here, I see that there's a tangent option in the lower right corner. If I click on the symbol and then I click on the arc and the line, that shape shows up. And that's an important constraint for me, okay? So we want it on both sides, all right? So make sure you add that. That looks pretty good. The other thing I would add while I'm here is to go ahead and put that circle in right away. So sketch circle, center diameter circle I like. And how big is our circle? It's a 1-inch diameter. And again, you can go ahead and drag your dimensions outside if you want. Cleans it up a little bit. And that's about all we need right now for our sketch. So I can say stop sketch. I'll hit the house button and you can see that the shape is sitting there. Our part is 1.88 thick. So I'll go here to the extrude button, click on the part, and I can either drag the arrow, I can type in this box here, or in this pop-up window, I can go over here and I can type in 1.88. Hit enter when you're done. Pretty good. We have 2 holes that we need to put in, okay? So I'm going to use the insert hole tool here. So I'll go to create hole, and I'm going to select the face. I want to put the circle on this face, so I'll click on it. And you can see here that it's given us, there's a pop-up window, and newer versions of Fusion looks a little different. I have a depth of 0.8. Instead of worrying about the depth, I'm going to go down here to extents, and I'm going to just say go through all. If I look at my drawing, the diameter is 0.5. And then the last thing I want to do is I need to locate this. So if you look here, it says references. And the first thing I can do is I can click on this and I can say, okay, well, front to back. If you do a little bit of math, you find out that it's 0.94. And then I also want to locate it side to side. So I can click on it here and it's 0.75. And I can say enter and I'm all set. We'll do that one more time. So if you need a little bit of help, we'll do it one more time. I'll rotate. I'm using the little cube at the top to rotate. I'll do create hole. I'll select the face. It remembered my settings. So the depth is all. You come down here, you see extents all. Diameter is 0.5. The only thing I have to do is use my references to set this up. So up top it says references here. Select. Front to back, it was 0.94. And from the left side, it is 0.75. Hit enter. And that's it. Looks good. I can hit the house button. Nice drawing. All right. And now I can go ahead and put this into a drawing. Okay. So first things first, let's go ahead and save it. And the name of our part, again, if you go back and check on things, this is called a rod guide. So I'll say figure 5-52 rod guide. And you might need a location. I'll say save. Okay, looks pretty good. All right. Now I want to put this into a drawing. So up here in model, if you're using the new version of Fusion, it'll say design. Go down to drawing from design. I'll accept the settings here and say okay. Takes a minute to fire up. And I now have my base view, my front view. And it's set to 1 to 2. I'm going to change my scale to 1 to 1. And I want to locate my front view. Remember, it's really important that the front view goes here in the bottom left. And I say, okay. I want to put in my other views, my top, my right, and my isometric. So I'll go up here to the top right corner, and there's a projected views. Click on the front view, drag up, drag over, and then I'll put in my isometric. And when I'm done, I'll hit enter. It's kind of a large isometric view, so I might want to change this around just a little bit, maybe give this a little more room. Okay. My isometric, is still hidden. I see the hidden lines and stuff, so I'll double click on this and I'll change that to shaded. Looks a little nicer. Now, the only other thing we have to do, the assignment does ask us to put in our center lines, and center lines is something new for us, okay? So my center lines I can find up here under geometry. I have a center mark and a center line. So let's use center mark first. If I click on center mark, I can go around anywhere that there's a circle, and you'll see that I'll get some plus signs there. Okay. The other thing then is my center lines. I click on a center line, and in this top view, I have these hidden lines that represent my circle. So if I click the left side and the right side, I get a nice center line. I'll go down here and do the same thing. Left side, right side, left side, right side. In the side view, same thing. Left side, and right side. So those are my center lines. But if you do zoom in, you'll see that this just looks like a regular line, where all the other ones show a long dash, a short dash, and a long dash. So what we want to do is extend these, okay? So I'll click on this line, okay? And there's some arrows there. Drag the arrows up a little bit and drag the arrows down a little bit. And we want to make this look nice. My center dash is right in the middle. So if I go do this one, let's make them the same. Click the arrow. Try one more time. Click the arrow. And I can line it up with this one. Looks good. Take this arrow, drag it down, and line it up with that one. I can also extend this plus sign a little bit if I want to. Make it look nice and clean. Okay. And you can drag that down to line up with that one. Okay. So you want your center lines to extend out a little bit, to look nice. Make sure that you see them. Again, over here in the side view, this line right here, all it is a long dash. So we'll drag it a little bit, just down a little bit. Looks a little better. And same thing, I can go over here. If you want, you can extend these plus the center marks a little bit. Just make them look nice. I don't want to clutter the drawing too much, so I'll kind of stop right there. Again, just clean them up. They all line up about the same distance. And we're good to go. All right. Last thing I would do, we always ask our classes to set up our title block. If you're using the new version of Fusion, you're going to have to double click on each element to change it. If you're using the old version like I am, double click. I can insert an image. I use our school image. All right, now that doesn't look real good, so maybe we can delete that. Let's try to find a better way to set that up. Insert image. And it asks you to place the lower left corner. So I'm going to start down here in the lower left of my title block. And you can see that my logo actually extends out. So I can change the scale, shrink it down a little bit. And I can also change the X and Y distance so it looks good. Please make sure you fill out your entire title block. It should have a name in there, projects, have a logo. You need your center lines and your hidden lines in order to get full credit on this. When you're done, you'll export it as a PDF and upload it to our classroom management system. Nice job today, and good luck.